Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. So you're probably confused because there's a keyboard that's mostly taken apart in front of you. Well, I was going to make a video of me cleaning this keyboard. The thing is that everything that could possibly have gone wrong did. I don't have an actual camera, I just have my phone, and while I was recording, it ran out of storage, so yeah, I did a lot that didn't even get recorded, so I deleted some stuff, and here we are. I have no way to try and make this look pretty, because I was like, oh, because I've had some other issues, and I was just like, oh, I can just like film a separate intro and then like start from this point, but I'm at the point where that's not gonna work. So I'm so sorry that this is a mess, but I guess that's just how life is sometimes. And I hope that regardless of it being a little sloppy, it can still be relaxing for you. Maybe you'll relate to how I feel as a new content creator who doesn't really have that great of equipment or the money to buy better. I could possibly buy better equipment, but the thing is, this is kind of a hobby for me, and I'm really reluctant to put down a lot of money on it, especially if I don't end up doing it often. I really want to test the waters, do it, see how I like it, and decide if I want to keep doing it. So it would be a huge waste of money to buy equipment and then not end up using it later. So I'm kind of really bare bones right now, and it's putting me through the ringer, but like I said, doing my best here. So I'm going to grab a disinfecting wipe. And I'm going to wipe off each key and put it back on the keyboard. And I see a little hair. Just take care of that. Now keyboards are, I guess you could say, high traffic services, although most of us probably have personal computers. And so we may be the only one using the keyboard, but especially with the pandemic happening, I think it's a good idea to wipe your keyboard down every so often. With a disinfectant wipe. You don't have to do key by key like I am, but my keyboard was definitely in need of a deep cleaning. I will admit, I do eat at my desk. I personally don't think I'm that messy, but you know, as with anything, the longer you leave it, the dirtier it gets. Probably hadn't cleaned this in a couple months. By the way, this is a Razer Black Widow V3 in the color quartz. I absolutely love pink keyboards. I do love keyboards in general, but I like the pink ones even better. And this is an RGB keyboard that is fully customizable. I really like the Razer Chroma that they have on all of their keyboards. I think it's very cool. If you've never had a Razer keyboard or don't really know how RGB works, basically each light can be programmed to be any shade of color you want. So the cool thing about Razer, and most of the higher end or just kind of modern RGB keyboards do this, but you can set sections of your keyboard to have both different colors and different effects. So I could have this third of the keyboard be static, one color. I could have the middle part to be rainbow and have effect going in a clockwise wheel or even counterclockwise. And this side, again, I could pick any color or colors I wanted and maybe have like a wave effect or a breathing effect. So it's really, really, really customizable. But I'm boring, and I usually just have rainbow wave going across the keyboard or a rainbow wheel. Razer also has this really cool fire effect, and it kind of reminds me, if you've ever seen those fake fireplaces where it's like just an image of a fire, it kind of reminds me of that. And you just pick two colors that you like to work together, and that's what they do. This key here has got something on the edge that doesn't want to come off. I'm not sure what that could be from or why it won't come off. I almost think it might be a scratch in the paint. Really not sure how it could have gotten scratched unless it was from the key remover. That could be a possibility. Although you'd think that a key remover wouldn't scratch your keys, but you know, what can you do, right? Luckily, you can buy replacement keys, although you do have to buy the whole set. Usually you can't buy single keys unless you buy them secondhand or off some other store, but I really, really like Razer's keycaps because I love how they feel. I love the texture. So I would not try to buy third-party keycaps personally. No shade to anyone that would, but I do think that there's a difference in the quality, just in my experience, from the higher end keyboards like Razer. I have tried Corsair as well, and HyperX. And then I used to have this like random $20 like Chinese keyboard off of Amazon, and let me tell you, the difference between that and all of those brands I just mentioned, insane. But out of those brands, I definitely like Razer the best. I'm kind of a Razer simp. It's just, I don't know what they do, but the texture of the keycaps, as well as the general sound of the keys, like the switches, I just love it so much. I think it has this almost like aesthetic to it, like it's so pleasing in a sensory way. I don't even know how well, you know, my recorder will pick that up, but I just find the sensory experience of a keyboard to be as important as the performance, because it really makes just a huge difference in comfort and just enjoying the product that you purchased. Now I have to admit, I like the purple switches from Razer. They're called purple optical switches. I like them better than the green ones. Unfortunately, this particular keyboard didn't have the purple switches. The green are definitely similar. They're both a clicky switch. But something about the purple, I just like the way it sounds a little bit more than the green. I had tried the purple on the Razer Huntsman Mini. I honestly love that keyboard to bits, because again, the sensory experience is like otherworldly. And that keyboard has PBT keycaps. This one doesn't. PBT is a type of plastic used to make keys. It is a sturdier plastic, but it's more expensive. And so the nice thing about PBT, and the other reason it's more expensive, is that it actually degrades differently than ABS does. And so ABS keycaps, when they degrade, they become smooth. You lose the texture. They become smooth and shiny. Where the PBT keycaps, especially if they're double shot, when they degrade, they usually won't become as smooth. They have more texture to them. And that's what makes them superior. And this keyboard, the Black Widow V3, did not come with PBT keycaps, which is fine. It would have been more expensive. However, you can buy them from Razer for like $30. And they do have them in pink, or quartz as they call it. But I chose not to purchase them, even though I prefer them, just because I actually really liked how these felt. So I didn't necessarily feel the need to buy them. I figured maybe I will stick with these, and then once they degrade, I could buy new ones and then get the PVC. And that would be a way to extend the life of the keyboard and kind of make it like new and only spend $30 to do so. So that was kind of my plan with that. And I don't know if I mentioned it or not, because I've been trying to film this video like 3 times and you guys are only seeing this take. But I do love how clean this keyboard looks. So even when it's dirty, the keys are like close enough together that they hide everything underneath. So you can get away with being a little bit lazy. And if you hear crickets in the background, that's because I live in an old house. And sound leaks through the windows, even when they're closed. But crickets are indeed a nighttime insect, so perhaps they will set the mood. If you don't hear the crickets, then pretend I never said anything. If you want to hear the crickets, let me know, and I'll try to make it so that you can hear the crickets in another video. I actually think there are crickets in the basement. Sometimes when I go down there to do the laundry, I can hear them. And I'm quite certain that they're actually in the house. But that's how it goes. Sometimes little critters get in, and sometimes they're harmless, so doesn't really matter. Other times, well, unfortunately, you have to make sure you get rid of them. Okay, now that the keys are off, I'm gonna try and type. Oh gosh. I think this might be C. This was where I went for B. I think B is here. I think C is here. And I think X is here. And I'm gonna have to find out if I'm right or wrong once I plug this in, but before we do that, let's have some typing. And I would like to note, this is a multimedia key, so pressing it does play, pause, next track, previous track, that sort of stuff. This is a volume wheel. I love it so much. When you click it, it mutes the sound. Click it again, it unmutes it. You know, you never know that you need a volume wheel until you get a computer that has, or not a computer, but a keyboard that has a volume wheel. And let me tell you, you need a volume wheel, okay? You don't know it, but you need one. They're incredible. So let's enjoy the sounds of the typing now. As you can hear, it's very clicky. Kind of a very sharp click. It's not a dull or hollow click. I'm not sure if sharp is the right word, maybe snappy. Even though I do love this keyboard for every day, I don't always feel that it's the best keyboard for ASMR because the click is very, like I said, snappy. It's sort of one of those things that when you look back at the recording, you see the level of the volume jump, jump, jump. So I think you have to be careful with this kind of keyboard for ASMR. It's not that it's impossible, but it may need some more time in editing to make it better. I don't know that much about editing, but what I think I might end up doing, if I'm correct, is just lowering the sound of the clicks of the keyboard. Because that way, if they're too loud, just by lowering the sound of them, it can be a little bit more relaxing. Do you have a favorite key that you like the sound of? I kind of think I like shift. The right shift the best. Spacebar is a little bit annoying to me. Well, not annoying, but it can be annoying when you are typing and pressing it after every word. At least for ASMR. I'm sorry that this probably wasn't the best ASMR video, and it certainly wasn't a very clean one. Kind of sloppy, but I really just want to get started, if that makes sense. I don't want to punish myself. I don't want to feel bad about it because I think that's what I've been doing for so long, is telling myself that I can't do this because I don't have the equipment, or I'm not good enough at editing, or whatever it may be. I'm not good enough at thinking of ideas. I'm not good enough at executing the ideas. Or I always run into frustrating problems that make me want to give up, and I get upset with the quality of the video. So, like I said, I think what's important at this point is just that I try, and that I put myself out there and do it, because it is something that I wanted to try doing. So again, I'm sorry that this isn't the most clean or professional video, but I hope you were able to come along with me. Maybe enjoy it a little bit, or maybe just relate to the shambles, the frustrations, the trials and tribulations that I faced in making it. And before my phone explodes, I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you so much for watching and for bearing with me. Good night. I hope you sleep